the wildest thing you've come home to find in your backyard? When my sister showed up at my door sobbing about her divorce and begging to move into my guest house, I gave her exactly one rule that she could never break. Sterling, my $40,000 golden retriever, had championship bloodlines that could be ruined by accidental breeding, so she swore on our dead mother's grave that no other dogs would ever come near my property without my explicit permission. I came home early last month from a canceled business trip to find 3 beat-up vans in my driveway and heard multiple dogs barking from my backyard. Walking around the side of my house felt like entering a nightmare when I saw some scraggly-looking guy in a tank top holding my golden retriever by the collar and trying to force him to breed with a mangy German shepherd. My sister was nowhere in sight, but this stranger had set up professional photography equipment and was recording everything while 5 other random dogs ran loose in my fenced yard. I yanked open the gate so hard it slammed against the fence and screamed at him to get his filthy hands off my dog immediately. The guy barely glanced at me before saying he was Kyle and my sister's boyfriend of 2 weeks who ran a premium breeding service. He claimed she told him Sterling was available for his business and that I was totally cool with using my champion for his breeding program that would make them both rich selling designer puppies online. I felt my blood pressure spike when I noticed he'd spread Sterling's American Kennel Club papers across my patio table along with his pedigree certificates and health records from my filing cabinet. He'd already filled out breeding contracts with forged signatures and had taken promotional photos using Apollo's trophies and ribbons as props. The contract showed he was planning to charge $1,500 per puppy with deposits already collected from buyers expecting litters within the year. I demanded he pack up his equipment and remove every single dog from my property within the next 5 minutes, or I would physically throw him out myself. Kyle just laughed and told me the dogs were already in heat and needed to complete the breeding cycle, which could take hours. He actually suggested I go inside and watch TV while nature took its course because disturbing the dogs now could cause psychological damage to their mating instincts. Then he asked if I had any puppy food because he forgot to bring supplies for when his bitches welt in a few months. My blood was boiling as I watched him flip through my private veterinary files and Sterling's competition schedule while explaining how he'd already posted ads on 7 different websites advertising Sterling's stud services. He showed me his phone screen where hundreds of messages from interested buyers were flooding in, offering cash deposits for future litters from Sterling's bloodline. My dog's photo was plastered all over backyard breeder forums with promises of championship genetics at discount prices compared to legitimate breeders who actually health test and screen buyers. I told Kyle he had exactly 1 minute to leave before I called the police and animal control, my voice deadly calm despite the rage burning through every fiber of my body. He smirked and said I should go ahead because dog breeding wasn't illegal, and my sister had given him full permission as a legal tenant of the property. He said the cops would probably laugh at me for wasting their time over some harmless puppy making, while his business was completely legitimate and licensed by the state. I dialed 911 and reported an active animal cruelty situation with unlicensed breeding and possible stolen dogs on my property. Kyle kept filming his disgusting operation while I gave the dispatcher my address and detailed description of what was happening in my backyard. He actually had the audacity to yell at me that I was cock-blocking his dogs and ruining thousands of dollars in breeding fees while the dispatcher could hear everything he was saying. The police arrived with animal control officers who immediately recognized 2 of the female dogs from theft reports filed by devastated families 3 counties over. Kyle's face went pale when they found his van contained falsified health certificates and a list of 20 more addresses to hit that week for unauthorized breeding raids. The officers discovered he'd been running a multi-state puppy mill scam targeting champion show dogs whose owners were at work during the day. My sister pulled up just as they were loading Kyle into the police car on charges of animal theft and operating an illegal breeding operation across state lines. She screamed that I destroyed her chance at financial freedom and her future husband's successful business empire built on premium puppy sales. I handed her an eviction notice and told her she had 2 weeks to find another family member stupid enough to trust her.